All right.
You're gonna lie on your back and just notice what parts of your body are touching the ground. As we move today, I'm going to be pointing out what the easier versions of the exercise are versus the harder versions. So you can pick the version that works best for you. I'll usually start with the easier version. Let's just start by breathing. Take a big breath in, a full inhale, and full exhale. As you breathe, just notice what parts of your rib cage move as you're breathing. And on this next inhale, I'd like you to expand your rib cage laterally, like outward to the side seams of your shirt as you breathe in. And then let all that air out, feeling your ribs pull away from the side seams of your shirt. One more time like that. And all the air out. All right, earlier I said notice what's on the ground. So you have the four corners of your feet on the ground and your sacrum, which is the bone between your two back pockets. And there is a little space underneath your low back. You can go ahead and slide your hands underneath that little space. Our backs are not pressed to the ground right now. Our shoulder blades and upper back is on the ground. And then we have space underneath our neck. And then the back of the head is on the ground. We're going to maintain this neutral spine position as we alternate marching our legs. So you're going to put on press your sacrum, mid-back, and head to the ground lightly as you alternate marching your legs, floating them up in the air. Let's imagine that we're trying to make our legs as light as possible, like they're feathers floating in the air. And now let's bring our attention to the middle of our stomach as we're marching. And imagine there's like a little glass of water there. And you don't want that glass of water to spill. So if you find yourself shifting, that glass of water will spill. So we're trying to keep it still. Also, if you feel like your stomach is popping up out of your stomach, towards the ceiling, the water will spill. So keep that belly button pulled in, making your center a stable place. All right, if you're ready to increase the difficulty, you're gonna bring one leg up and then the other one, and then one leg down and then the other one. So we're gonna go up, up, down, down. And you'll notice that second lift leg, the leg that you lift second, when you do that, it's a challenge to your core. You might feel like that little space underneath your back increases when you lift that second leg. And our job is to keep it the same amount of space the whole time, just enough to fit a little hand underneath. If this is feeling tight on your back, or you're getting tired at the front of your hip, then you can go back to the original marching, one leg at a time. And then finally, for the third variation, we're gonna start both of our legs in tabletop, and we're gonna alternate dropping the leg down and pick it up, and down and up. Four and stretch that part of our back that might feel like it was working. We're gonna tip our tailbone up towards the ceiling, and now we're pressing our low back to the ground. And then release, and then again, press your low back to the ground, reaching your belly button towards your spine, reaching your tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then release back to that neutral position with a little space underneath your back. Okay, now we're gonna incorporate breath into that. So we exhale to push our back into the ground. Inhale to release. Exhale to press. Inhale to release. And 4 more. 3, 2, and hold this next one. And I want you to notice if you're really squishing your feet down to the ground. If you are, lighten up on your feet, like they're feet on sand and you don't want to make a footprint. And notice your glutes now. Are your glutes clenching to make this happen? If so, release the clench that you have in your glute and see if you can still maintain your low back on the ground. And that is pretty challenging for some people. And then, okay, release back to neutral. Nice work. Okay, we moved in a stable, neutral spine position while we moved our legs. And now we're gonna move our arms. So reach your arms up over your head and back down. Everything from your chest down to your toes is staying still. You will notice that as your arms come up over your head, you might want to arch your back to make that whole motion happen. And the challenge is if you can keep your ribs flat with the fleshy part of your stomach. Can you keep your ribs from popping up to the ceiling as your arms come overhead? And now let's incorporate the breath. We're gonna breathe in and out. In as your arms come up, out as your arms come down. And 4, 3, 2, and leave your arms up. 1, bring your hands behind your head. Bring your elbows to your peripheral vision so they're not out and they're not totally squeezing you. They're kind of diagonally towards the floor, where the ceiling meets the walls. And then bring your head up off the ground just about an inch. Check in with your neck and make sure it's relaxed. Our head is like resting on a pillow, and that pillow is our arms. All right, now from here, with your next exhale, you're gonna move your ribs towards your pelvis, and that's what's gonna be open. And then come back down. Exhale to curl up, inhale to come down, remembering that motion is initiated from our ribs sliding down towards our pelvis. It's not like our head is chicken jutting forward, yeah? Our head is trying to stay relaxed in the hands. Our arms are like a little hammock for our head. And then our ribs are reaching towards our pelvis. Exhaling to come up, inhaling to come down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And come on down. Rest your arms by your side and just let yourself relax. Let go of whatever tension you might have kept on after that exercise. Make sure your shoulder blades are laying flat on the ground. And now we're going to do that exercise again, but in a slightly different position. So they didn't point out in that last exercise, and it's okay if you didn't notice, our low back was not pressing to the ground when we were curling our chest up, but now it will. So bring your knees up towards your chest and press your low back to the ground. Scoop your belly button in towards your spine you're still using your hands for help here. So you don't have to work too hard quite yet. Now put your hands where they were before, resting your head in your hands, and you're going to curl up and come down, pressing our low back to the ground. And now here's where we increase the difficulty level. You're going to cross your left elbow towards your right knee, and I might look nearer to you, but just know, one elbow to the opposite knee. One elbow towards the opposite knee. You might not be able to reach the knee, but know that you're reaching towards it. Our low back is still pressed on the ground, and we're going to do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bring your legs down. Rest your arms by your side. Take a couple big breaths in and out, and let yourself settle back to your neutral position. We're going to add one more layer to that, and it's a classic Pilates exercise called the 100. And basically, we're going to be in a curled up position with our arms by our side, and our arms are going to flap like this. And the goal is, despite your hands flapping like this, everything else is still. Now, if you have low bone density, or any pain with this exercise, I would suggest that you stay down low with your head on the ground. But for everybody else, you can choose your level of intensity of this exercise. So let's bring your legs up to your chest, put your hands behind your head, and curl up. Release your hands and move them up and down. Your low back is pressed to the ground. And you're gonna breathe in, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, breathe in, and out. You can support your head if you need to, like if your neck is getting tired, and out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In. You can straighten your legs. If you have it in you to straighten your legs, you can. And if you want to really challenge yourself, you lower your legs down, but only as far as you can lower it down with your low back to press the ground. So I'm going to stay at this in-between level. And out, 2, 3, 4. In, you can support your head, and out. Last 8, go. In, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. And knees to chest and relax. Hug your legs here or place your feet on the ground and let go whatever tension you might have been holding from that exercise. All right, let's for a break, work on some flexibility, breaking all that core work. We're straightening and bending our leg. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Other side. 8, 7, 6, 5. We're going to use this mobility in the back of our legs in the next exercise. 2 more. Last one. All right, lie down on your side with your arm underneath your head for support. If you have any shoulder issues, then you can just put a pillow underneath here so that we are still in neutral spine. So the back of our head, our mid-back, and our sacrum are still in one line with a little curve behind our neck and a little curve behind our low back. You might find that your waist is slouching down to the ground. Yeah, we're a little bit side bent because our waist might be slouching down to the ground. And if so, put your hand underneath your waist and pull up just a little and see if you can maintain that. Now bring your top leg up so that it's parallel to the ground, and we're gonna swing that leg forward and back. And the goal of this exercise is to keep everything still from head to tailbone and just flex and extend at the hip. The breath I like to use here is to exhale as I push back, inhale as I come forward. You'll find that in almost every exercise and in life, when you're doing something difficult, challenging for your body, it helps to exhale, to bring in your core so that you can have a more stable center while doing the challenging movement. So for me, to bring my leg back is challenging. I want to arch my back as I bring my leg back. And so I have to exhale to prevent myself from extending the arch of my back. All right, rest for a second. I said earlier that we were going to use the flexibility that we just worked on. So now we're going to do that. Straighten that top leg and reach through that top leg. And you're going to come forward with your leg with a flexed foot and back with a pointed foot. If the foot is too challenging to coordinate, don't worry about it. It's not essential for this exercise. What we're really trying to challenge, again, is that same thing. Not letting the movement of that leg control what you're doing in your trunk. So if you just let it, you might lean forward and back as you go, but we're staying still. And again, I'm inhaling forward, exhaling back. And let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. All right, let's rest that for a second. So we've done a 2 bent legs version. We did 1 bent leg and 1 straight leg. And now for the third version, which is 2 legs straight. And this is going to make things even more challenging because we have a very narrow base of support. The only thing that's like the tripod of our body right now is this arm that's underneath here, or this arm in front. So bring up the top leg and swing forward and back for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Bend your legs, and we're going to take a little nice little break from all that hip work. Reach your top arm in front of you, and then reach it up to the ceiling as your chest becomes flat to the front. And now twist your chest up to the ceiling as your arm reaches behind you. I'm going to check to make sure that I'm not going to fall off this table. And then use your exhale to come back. So remember that glass of water that was on our stomach earlier? Now it's on our top hip. Don't let that glass of water spill. Breathe in and exhale to come back. Let's do 2 more. Your head can be relaxed on your hand or on that pillow. You don't have to feel like you're doing a little sit. Stretching this bottom side, and then you're gonna, like you did earlier, scoop yourself up to make a little triangle shape underneath your trunk and arm. Let's do that again. Slouch and lift. Notice that there's a lot of space between my ear and my shoulder. Slouch and lift. And today's our first day of this Pilates class. We're not going to be doing a side plank, just to get us all used to the movement. But this is going to be our build up to that side plank. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. To challenge this position, we're going to take that top leg and swing it forward and back, forward and back. We won't do as many of those as we did last time. If your bottom hip is bugging you because you're on a hard surface, try to get like a little towel underneath there. And last one. All right, now straighten that top leg. And last version of this series of exercises, I'm sure you're feeling it in that top hip, or I hope you're feeling it in the top hip. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. All right, switch to the other side. So all that stuff we just did, we're gonna have to do on the other side, yeah? So, lining yourself up like your back is pressed to get, or you're lined up against the wall. And there's like a little arch in your low back and a little arch in your neck that's not touching the wall, but head, mid-back, and sacrum are all in a line. Pull up that bottom waist, pick up the top leg so it's parallel to the ground, and bring it forward and back. This hip to come front and extending at the hip, not the back, to come back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Now straighten the bottom leg. Bring the top leg toes parallel to the ground and flex that foot to come forward. Point it to come back. So remember, you can always go back to the previous version of the exercise if this one is not great for you today. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, bend those legs. Reach your top arm in front and open up, reaching that shoulder blade towards the floor, looking towards that hand that's moving. Take a breath in. And exhale, come back. We have that glass of water on our top hip, and we don't want it to spill. You can notice if one side is more challenging for you than the other. For me, this side is more challenging. It's hard for me to initiate without lifting my bottom leg off the ground. Just as we do these exercises over the next few weeks, you can notice if you have asymmetries. You can also notice if you're getting better at them. You're getting better at evening out the asymmetries. Nice. All right, lie on your stomach. Oh no, sorry. Come up to your elbow. And then slouch down. And lift up. Slouch down. And lift up. Let's do 2 more. All right. Now take that top leg and kick it front and back. It's hard for me not to sing along to these songs. But you definitely don't want that from me. Maybe you guys are singing along at home. 4, 3. Remember, we're still keeping space between our shoulder and our ear. If you're finding yourself slouching, pick it up. Now, straighten that top leg, flex to kick forward, point to kick back. 4, 2, and 1. Go ahead and lie down on your stomach. And you can put your your hand underneath your head so that you're not squishing your nose on the ground. You don't have to turn your head out to the side. I will try to explain as much as I can without you having to look at me. So, forehead on forearm. You're gonna bend one of your knees and hold on to your leg or your sock or your pants, whatever you can grab, to get a stretch at the front of the thigh. Now, if you ended up getting a cramp in the back of your leg, that's not uncommon. I'm sorry if you got a cramp. I have a way to modify that if that's going to be a frequent thing for you, but I have a feeling that next time when we do this, or on the next leg, when your body knows what's happening next, it won't cramp up. All right, so switch arms, tuck your tail under, and then reach for that leg. So for those of you who got that cramping feeling in the back of your thigh, and you really hate it, which I hate that cramp feeling, you can do the same stretch lying on your side like this. It's easier to grab your ankle and then pull back. But our next exercises are going to be on our stomach, so that's why we're here. All right, now put your hands by your shoulders and bring your shoulder blades down your back, like your shoulder blades are 2 bars of soap sliding down your back. Your face is hovering off the ground. Your belly button is pulled up towards your spine. And now you're gonna lift your chest like you're watching a little ant crawl away from you. Your eyes are looking along the floor, then where the wall meets the floor, and then to the wall straight in front of you, and then come on down. And then let's repeat. Shoulder blades down, lift your chest. You have a choice of how high you go. If this feels like a pinch in your lower back, you can stay low. You're still getting the good work in. 2 more. Belly button scoop to spine. Shoulder blades slide down your back. Legs are resting on the ground. And last one. Your forehead on your hands for a second and rest. Release whatever tension you have in your low back. You might want to shake your hips a little bit to let it go. And then you're going to reach one of your legs longer, like you're telescoping your leg out. And then you're going to lift it up and down. Lift, 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 lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax for a second, shake those hips, and then reach the other leg long, and then lift the thigh towards the ceiling, and lower. Lift, lift. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, now you can continue with that. We're gonna do one more version of this exercise where both of our legs are gonna lift up and you're gonna flutter kick them. Head is resting on your hands, forehead is resting on your hands, back of your neck is long, belly button scooped in. Reach both of your legs towards the wall under you. Lift both of those legs, the belly button still scooped up and in. And now flutter your legs. Tension in your shoulders, let it go. We're swimming our legs. 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Put your hands by your shoulders and push back to child's pose to rest our body in the opposite position. Opposite of what we just did. Now while you're here, take a big breath into your back, expanding your back ribs with an inhale as if you have wings in your back and you're trying to Inflate those wings. And full exhale. One more, full inhale. And full exhale. All right, bring both of your arms over to one side. And then the open rib cage side. See if when you inhale, you can expand that open rib cage side with your breath. And let it all out. And on the other side, inhale and expand, open up that rib cage on that open side. And let it go. All right, we're gonna go onto our hands and knees. If you have wrist issues, you can do this on your elbows, but that feels a little bit low. So you can, like, if you have some sort of platform, whether it's a foam roll or a yoga block or the side of your couch, armrest, you can put your forearms on there. All right, so here we are with shoulders, move myself so I'm not on a seam, shoulders directly over your wrists, hips directly over your knees. The back of our back is flat and, well, it's a neutral spine again, like a tabletop with the back of our head, mid-back, and our sacrum all in a line. Can you alternate tapping your stomach with your hands, and again imagining that that cup of water is on your back and you don't want it to spill. So you might find yourself fall towards where one of your legs of your table lifted off the ground, and your job is to keep yourself still. Even though your table lost a leg, it's still holding that glass of water right on top of it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, release one of your legs long, like slide it along the floor, and then other leg. All we're doing is sliding the leg on the floor. We're not lifting it. Glass of water still on our back. And we're trying not to lose it. Think length through the leg as you extend that leg out. Now you're going to coordinate with your arm. Opposite arm and leg reach along the floor. They don't lift. And then they come in at the same time. Reach along the floor and they come in at the same time. Reach and come back in. Reach and come back in. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're gonna reach, then lift. This is the third version of this exercise. So if you're ready for it, go for it. Reaching opposite arm and leg, lift them as high as you can without changing the shape of your table. So we're not sagging in the middle. We're reaching long through your fingertips and toe tips. And then bring them in at the same time. Reach, lift without changing the shape of your back, lower, and come back in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Let's get some time off of those wrists. All right, so you are going to bring the camera angle so you can see my head. You're going to bring both of your legs over to one side if this movement is available for you. If not, you can sit crisscross. You can even sit on a chair. And then also, if you elevate your hips, it can be more comfortable for you if this position isn't comfortable. So let's stack ourselves up here. Bring your arms out to the side, trying to make a nice letter T. Then tip that letter T and reach up and over. Keep keeping space between your ear and your shoulder. And then come up and go the other way. Making sure to try to find this center spot and then going over. It takes a little bit of an exhale and an awareness of where your center is to find that spot. And now come up and over, and when you're on, you should be on the side. See, this leg is folded back. You're towards the leg that's folded front. Reach up and over, and then now turn yourself like you're hugging a big round ball. A big ball underneath you, and you're hugging it. And then you're going to take a big breath in, expanding your back ribs with your inhale. I feel a stretch along my back when I make a breath in. And exhale, come up. If you're feeling up to it, well, we're going to switch your legs to the other side. If you're feeling up to it, try to do that without using your arms. Arms out to a letter T. Tip. And reach up and over. Exhale to come back to center. Inhale to come to the other side. Four. I know we have a wide range of ages here on the call with us. These were like the songs of my childhood. Last one to the side. All right, reach up and over towards the side where your leg is folded in front of you, and then round yourself over like you're hugging a big ball. Take a breath in, expanding your back ribs. And exhale, come back up. All right, bring both of your legs in front of you like this. Put your hands behind you. Bring your hands behind your thighs. And then tuck your tail under, trying to get your low back on the ground. And then mid back. Elongate your neck. It won't touch the ground, but make it long. And then put your head down. Relax and let go whatever tension you might have holding in you. Take a breath in and exhale. Reach your feet forward, and because of its connection to your arms, your legs are going to pull you up. I probably made that look, I do this all the time, right? So I made that look a little bit easy to go slowly. But that is a big challenge for a lot of people, and that's the challenge that we're working on right now. Can you segmentally lay yourself down one vertebra at a time? Take a breath in and exhale. Glance over to your knees, reach your feet, and can you pull yourself up one vertebra at a time until you stack yourself tall on your sits bones. Let's do that again 2 more times. Sometimes people, this hurts their tailbone. Exhale, curl up. It's very hard to modify so that this doesn't hurt your tailbone. But if it does, I would suggest doing it on a soft surface. And then also working on this scoop action. Scooping that tailbone under. Take a breath in. Keep that tailbone scooped under so the tailbone's not on the ground because it's still scooping up towards your knees. And then sit up. Open up your chest. Bring your arms behind you. It can be wide if it needs to be. And and stretch your chest the other way. And now we're gonna take that exercise to the next level. So you can still do that exercise that we just did, or you can get your legs straight in front of you, then put a little bit of a bend in your knees if that hamstring flexibility isn't available to you today. Put your hands in front of you and then scoop your tailbone under, trying to get your low back on the ground, upper back, elongate your neck, get your head on the ground, and then reach above your head. Take a breath in. Exhale, circle your arms around and peel yourself off the ground. You can hold on to your legs here for help if you need it. Round yourself forward. This is called spine stretch because hopefully you're feeling a gentle stretch on your back. And then stack yourself up so that you're on top of your sits bones again. Head is like straight down to the middle, in line with your tailbone. And then we're gonna send the tailbone under, curling yourself so that your low back touches the ground, mid back, shoulder blades, head, arms above your head, circle it around, and exhale to peel yourself up, rounding yourself forward. Your belly button is reaching one direction, your feet and your hands are reaching the other direction. And then stack yourself up. We're gonna do one last one. Here we go. Scoop under. You can hold on to your legs if you need it for help, yeah? I'll show that on this next one. Inhale, arms above your head. Exhale, circle your arms around. Use your legs for help to see if you can get yourself to peel off segmentally. Round forward. And stack yourself up. Nice. All right, we are going to lie down on our backs and go back to one of the first motions that we did, which was that pelvic tilt. So this next exercise I'm going to do is a little bit of making a better mind-body connection and also just loosening up your lumbar spine. We have been doing a lot of loosening up of our lumbar spine already. And this is typically an exercise that people do in the beginning of a class, but I find it mentally challenging, and I didn't want to turn you guys off with something that that was too confusing. But you can do these next exercises without me, without looking at me even. Imagine that you have a clock on your stomach, yeah? A round clock, an analog round clock, not your iPhone. And your belly button represents 12 o'clock. And your pubic bone represents 6 o'clock. That makes sense? 12 is at the belly button, 6 is at your pubic bone. Can you rock that clock from 12 to 6? 12 to 6. We did this earlier. I'm just layering on this concept of the clock. 12 to 6. And maybe you'll notice that this feels different to you now than it did at the start of class. Hopefully in a better way. One more time. 12 to 6. And now settle in the middle. Clock is flat. Okay, so if 12 is here and 6 is here, 3 is on one side and 9 is on the other side. So can you rock from 3 to 9? 3 to 9. If you need to in the beginning, go ahead and let your legs fall towards 3 and 9. But the goal is to keep the legs from not rocking side to side. And your lumbar spine, your low back, is the only thing moving from 3 to 9. I didn't say legs stay still because the legs can be kind of sliding up and down, but they're just not rocking side to side. We're going from 3 to 9, 3 to 9. And now settle back in the middle. Picture in your mind, where's 5 and where's 11? Can you go from 5 to 11? We're going from a hip to a rib. 5 to 11. And if this is weird for you or frustrating, you can see why I didn't put this at the start of class, because I might have lost you if I started with this. 5 to 11. And settle back. Now we're going to go from 7 to 1. 7, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1, 7, and 1. Settle back to the center, and we're going to go around the entire clock now. So go to 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's do that circle one more time. We're going clockwise. You know what's next. Let's go counterclockwise. From 12 to 11, all the way down to 6, to 3, and up to 12. One more time. Settle back in the center. On this next round of that clock, I'd like you to notice if there's a section of your spine, certain time in the clock, that it's hard to move through. So go to 12 and circle it around, and notice if there's a spot that's kind of stuck. And back to center, let it go, and go the other way and see what's stuck when you go counterclockwise. All right. Go ahead and stretch your legs out, stretch your arms up above you. Reach as if someone's gently tugging at your wrists and your ankles. Take a big breath in. And then relax and let go with the exhale. And we are done for today. I hope you guys enjoyed class.